Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. This is Doug, and we are the NS9 Postgame Show powered by Primanti Brothers. Doug, this game sucked.
It was gross.
So much that I forgot to put up the overlay. I had two ready because I didn't know which direction this was going. And once I found out what happened, I just...
Who cares, right?
So there we go. Now it's updated.
There you go.
But what's up, my man?
Terrible game. I mean, just terrible, right? You got some, decent. He scored 6 runs. He scored 4 runs in regulation, whatever. And bad bullpen decisions. Ryan O'Hearn just had his O'Neal Cruz opening day game, right? Just back-to-back plays,
Yeah.
I said, I just saw a tweet. Someone said, hey, his defense has been pretty good. I'm surprised. It's been fine. And, he made a nice catch there earlier in the game up against the wall. I think that was in the 9th inning. But, wow, clanks one off his glove and then just was paying no attention to what the runner was doing. He's just, I guess, seeding the game. He's got the ball in his glove. And the runner, for some reason, thought he was a Pittsburgh Pirate, so he was standing there not knowing what to do. Right? And you probably could have thrown him out at home if you're paying attention. And the bullpen. I mean, who do you trust in the bullpen now other than Soto? Nobody. There's nobody.
I'll add this. I'm gaining more trust in Montgomery. Just put it out there, and I'm not saying like,
I agree with that.
Nails.
I agree.
To your point where you're going with this, it's Soto and that's it. I am trusting more Montgomery, but also to the point you're trying to make is that's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
And
then again, I mean, listen, we'll talk about him, but for the, the fire Kelly now things, I mean, when all you have is Gregory Soto in the bullpen that you trust, you can't pitch Gregory Soto every single day for every inning for 3 to 4 innings a night.
Which brings up another problem. He pulls starters too soon. And I understand that approach. I understand why you want to do that. However, we don't have the bullpen to do that. Right? I'd rather go with another inning of Paul Skeens, for pitching for complete. I mean, every day, Wednesday, Paul Skeens could have got another inning. He was at 90 pitches going into the 9th. Next day, Keller could have gone, he only pitched 6 innings. He was under 100 pitches. But Baczynski, I think he had 70 pitches in 6 innings. He could have gone. Yesterday, Ashcraft could have gone another inning. And today, Bubba could have. I understand you might want to get Bubba out. He's had 5 good innings. He's in a good position to win, that sort of thing. But our bullpen cannot – the bullpen's not going to get you through 4 innings right now. It's just not going to do it. Not in a close game. And it would have been nice to maybe have a couple of guys that had pitched 1 less inning because you pulled your starters a little bit early. And before all you people in the chat, all you advanced analysts tell me this is the way baseball is played now and it's all done. It's all the other teams do it. I don't care. The Pirates can't be like all other teams because they don't do anything else like all the other teams. They don't spend money. They don't draft players. They don't sign. They don't develop. They can't be like other teams. Right. And for 125 years of baseball, everyone told me that batting average was an important stat. And that pitchers' wins was an important stat. And RBI was an important stat. And now we don't think that anymore. I don't know. Tennyson, Longfellow, one of them says, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of a little mind, of simple mind. And that's what the Pirates are doing. They're doing this is because it's what everybody else does. And I'm sorry, we can't afford to do what everybody else does. We don't have the bullpen to do it. And you're right. Donnie Kelly's limited. It's bringing a guy that you're uncertain about to replace a guy that you're sure is not getting the job done. I mean, that's a tough spot. However, some of that might be on him. Some of it because he's relying on the bullpen too much. So yeah, I don't, it reminds me like 2012, 2013, right? We didn't do what all the other teams did. We started shifting before anybody else. And people always want to sort of go on about how Ray Searage fixed A.J. Burnett and Francisco Liriano. That's not what happened. We took him out of the American League. We took A.J. Burnett out of Yankee Stadium, out of the American League East, brought him to the National League where there wasn't a designated hitter, and we started shifting. He didn't even like it. But that's what, and that dropped his ERA down the run a game had been prior. Francisco Liriano, target field, hitter's park. You brought him to the National League. No designated. That's what we did. We did something all the other teams weren't doing. Right. And that's what we need to do something now. We might want to start relying on our pitchers a little more. And I understand there's risk with that too. There's no sure answers in anything, in particular in baseball pitching management. But dear Lord, man, I mean, if Ben's not going to go out and get some new relievers, we're going to have to manage them differently. And I understand, like, every time we criticize Don Kelly, I'm not even sure if that's who we should be criticizing, because Ben could be pulling these strings. But whoever's making these decisions, and so it comes back to Ben. Ben, if you're making the call, or if this is the bullpen you're provided, call Dave Dombrowski. He's open for business. Call somebody, right? Call somebody. Fix this bullpen.
Call Dad. Well, I want to say a few things to this. First, before I do, thank you for Flyboy King 4114 for the $2 super, saying Bubba got pulled for injury concern with the knee. Now, I will say, like, that is somewhat fair, right? He pulled up a little bit lame there. He continued, finished out the inning. Maybe that was part of it. Another $5 super from Michael here. Doug is right. You can't have your manager pull starters early in the game, after a game, when you have this bad of a bullpen. I mean, this got to stop, guys. And I guess here's where I come in once again to just kind of discuss and talk about the whole analytics thing. And not that this is, this was a big part of the game in a sense. And, like, I know where you're going. And the thing for me too is, like, for the group that, analytics is ruining baseball. It's not. It's information. All analytics is information.
No,
does a pitcher?
It's a tool, and that they're not using properly. I love the information.
Right. So, like, does a pitcher pitch worse the third time through an order? Correct. We have the data to say that, but it's how you interpret it. So knowing that doesn't necessarily mean, okay, it's a third time, we have to pull it. It's just, here's some information to know. But if you know that you have a lockdown bullpen, you could say, well, knowing this information, you know what? Instead of having this guy go out for the third time through the order, my bullpen is nails. Let's get the bullpen in here. We'll pull you out because I know this information. So I'm processing this in real time and making the best decision with the information given to me. The difference is knowing that information and knowing that, hey, you know what? My bullpen really isn't nails right now. Even though I know this guy's going to have a worse time through the third time this order, I feel more comfortable with him out there, so I'm going to do it. That's the job of a manager, to use the information and process it correctly. So I just want to say that to make things a little bit clear here. For the analytics are bad. Analytics is information. How you process it and how you can come to a decision and a conclusion with the information you have, that's what matters. So with that said, this bullpen has been bad, Doug. It has, especially middle relief has been bad. Soto has been locked down. Bubba being pulled here, he finished it. Now, again, maybe it was more because of the knee, but that is a questionable decision. Do you pull Bubba out there right now? I mean, he went 5. Bubba was, funny thing is, we haven't talked about Bubba yet. He actually pitched a pretty decent game. I mean, he was throwing strikes today. Only 1 walk, which, I mean, like, that was just like pitching around this guy kind of type of situation. But he threw 68% strikes today. The fastball he was using a lot. I mean, he was pitching the way you want to see Bubba pitch.
Yeah. Oh, no. And let me quickly say, I love analytics. They're necessary, and I want all the information possible. What I don't like is the slavish devotion to analytics.
Right.
That's to me where the problem is. Right. I mean, yesterday, it got San Francisco yesterday. Roop, whatever his name is, made O'Neal Cruz look like he had never had a baseball bat in his hands before yesterday, 2 times. And yet they still made that switch, right? Like, sometimes the eye test, like the analytics give you the overarching view of everything that's ever occurred and funnels it to you. However, you watch those 2 at-bats. I would have felt very comfortable if I'm San Francisco, pitching to Cruz with Roop in that situation. They didn't. He got hit. The floodgates open. World Series, Tampa, and Blake Snell, right? Blake Snell had made those guys look silly, and on top of not trusting the eye test, then you brought in the wrong word. Anyway, back to us. Yes, Bubba. Bubba looked good. And again, the reason I mentioned the other starters all being able to pitch another inning, because Bubba might needed to have come. Bubba is the one I most likely would have taken out. He maybe tweaked the knee. Maybe that wasn't a big deal. But, you're trying to get him in a position to win the game. See, look what you did here, Bubba. This was done well. We're going to take it the rest of the way for you. So I get that. But again, those 4 other guys all could have got another inning, and maybe you have a fresher reliever. Maybe you have more options. Maybe somebody can go 2 innings, that sort of thing. So yeah, but Bubba, I mean, it was a pretty good start for Bubba, right? He answered. He didn't collapse in any situation. He had the little wild throw, and he obviously needs to slow the game down a little for himself, but he's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. But all in all, like I said, depended on his fastball, cut down on the walks. I mean, that was the big thing. He didn't walk people like he's been doing all year. If he can continue to cut down on walks, he's going to keep us in a lot of ball games.
Absolutely. I mean, he honestly has kept this team in a lot of ball games with the walks. Like that's what's been defined. Like he goes out there and he'll give you 5 innings with 5 walks, sometimes 6 walks, and he leaves it with like 2 runs. This team is in it. Like that's how talented Bubba Chandler is. And we've been discussing this. Like if he can just trust his stuff and just throw for strikes, it is that good. It is that good. Trust it. Just pound that strike zone, and more times than not, you're going to get out of this looking good, instead of in jams and stuff. Because again, like he has come out in situations where like he has 6 walks, right? But 2 hits and ends up being, 2 runs or something. So, today it was much more effective. And he was spamming that fastball. That fastball was working for him, especially early on. He was being much more efficient. Yeah, there was an inning there. He got caught up. There were some hits like you talked about, that throw. It wasn't as efficient. He did give up some hits in the home run. So again, like he gave up some runs. It was 2, but he goes 5 innings, 2 earned runs today, Doug. Again, 1 walk. This was the version of Bubba you want to see. And,
I mean, he's either the 4th or 5th starter, right? I mean, he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. You'll take that out of the back end of the rotation every single game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 62% forcing fastballs today. On the year, he's averaging 48. And again, he throws it primarily, like almost half the time. Today was 62. I mean, it was almost like a conscious effort. I need to cut down on the walks. I need to go out there and just pitch and throw for strikes to let my stuff work. And it was like a conscious effort. I'm just going to throw the fastball today. And he did that much more than he did. And shout out to Henry Davis for maybe acknowledging that and seeing that and doing that, because like you got a much better, cleaner version of Bubba Chandler today. So he looked very effective. I mentioned he was pretty efficient mostly. And as shown, 5 innings today, 2 earned. This team was certainly in that ball game with Bubba Chandler out there.
Yeah, he should have got out of there with a win, right? He should have got a win today. And the bullpen, the defense, all the things that we feared, all off season, all spring training, and up until today, the things that we've have cost this team, several games already. And great job by Bubba. Kudos to Bubba.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, he goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned, the 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, that home run. He leaves the game as a 2-2 ball game, and the Pirates did score early. This looked like a game where, they had Tyler Mahle on the mound, and you walk into this game thinking like, okay, they absolutely have a chance to win it if Bubba keeps his composure, if Bubba can pitch the way he does. And Bubba did that. And this is one of those games where it was like the offense just, it was there, but just not good enough. I mean, also they went 2 for 15 today in runners in scoring position. Now, a lot of that came in the end. I think at one point they were 1 for 6, and that was like in the Bubba moment, so, but like, again, they did score 2 runs early on here, but they were squandering opportunities early in the game as well to like really capitalize on this Giants team.
Well, it was funny because they put up the graphic early about the Pirates being tied for 3rd with the Braves and, with hitting with runners in scoring position. So, oh, well, that's baseball for you. I mean, it's a team loss for sure. Right. A couple timely hits, it's a lot of things could have changed the outcome of this game. Could have done it in regulation as well. So.
Right. Yeah. So again, I want to say, like, O'Neill Cruz led off, and this is the reason why I do really love O'Neill at the leadoff spot. Now, of course, he gets a walk. That's not the reason. He doesn't do that too often, right? But he gets on base, And right away, he goes to attempt to steal second base. The catcher's been having all kinds. I mean, they're already seeing what's happening with Patrick Bailey going. This is like the second or third time this series, the catchers cannot throw the second. Anyways, he goes to attempt to throw the second. O'Neill, of course, would have been safe there. He rounds it, goes to third. So, like, right away, again, this is why I dub him the catalyst. O'Neill Cruz. He gets on first, and before the first out's even made, while the second batter's up, he's on third base already. O'Neill Cruz not only finds himself in scoring position, but finds himself on just a sack fly away from making this a 1-0 ball game. You know, already off the bat at third base. Now, Brendan Lau doesn't come through there, right? But then Nick Gonzalez does. Nick Gonzalez gets a single right through the infield. He scores. So, like, I mean, the offense, again, like, it was there. And this is, again, like, why I do really like O'Neill Cruz. Cruz got his 15 stolen base. We're talking about pacing. He's on pace for 59 stolen bases for the year. I understand pacing. I'm putting this out there to understand, like, perspective. Like, that's the type of production he's giving you at leadoff. 10 home runs, 15 stolen bases right now. Like, I understand he strikes out a lot, but he causes so much havoc at that leadoff role that, I mean, I like him there.
Yeah, I do too. I looked today. I looked at the box score from the May 10th game last year against the Braves, the 3-2 loss. O'Neill Cruz stole his 16th base in that game. So, you know, here we are. We've been here before with him.
That's why I wanted to pause a little bit. I understand
that
projections and, like, he's on pace for it. We've been here before, but, like, as long as he's doing this, I love him at leadoff.
Yeah, exactly. He is. Right. I'm very happy. And look, we have another viable option for leadoff right now. Connor Griffin, you could put Connor Griffin in the leadoff spot, right? So it's not that Cruz just isn't at leadoff because there's nobody else except Jared Triolo to play. You know, Connor Griffin could play leadoff. Really, I mean, Horwitz doesn't have the speed, but he could be a leadoff hitter because of how he gets on base. You know, that sort of. I mean, there's other options. Yeah, there's other options, but Cruz is doing a great job. Catalyst is a great nickname for him, but I always think of Mean Girls when you bring that up because fetch is not going to happen there, DiNardo. I don't think the Catalyst just doesn't seem to stick. I don't know why.
Well, we'll make sure he wears his pink guards on Wednesday.
There you go. So yeah, no, I mean he's doing a great job. I mean it's right. He's got room for growth. He's got room for improvement. But you'll take this exact version that we have right now. You'll take of O'Neill Cruz. He's been better defensively, or at least not as catastrophically bad, right? I mean, he's seemed to catching all the pop-ups, which is an improvement. So yeah, again, he's doing fine. I mean, that's what led me to look at that box score from last year was to see the OPSs, and Cruz's was actually higher than now, but then it was Peguero at 289, Brian Reynolds at 630, Brian Hayes at 603. I mean, this lineup is so much better, so much more deeper than it was last year. And 4 runs should have been enough today. So
it should have.
You know, I mean, certainly they could have scored more and probably should have scored more. But again, they hit that number that's usually good enough for this team to win. That just other forces went against them.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight something you said. I mean, you mentioned the offense and such and the difference, and I put out there on Twitter today. I mean, this offense has 6 guys, 6 players. We're not talking about just average. 6 guys in this lineup with a 115 weighted runs created plus or higher.
Right. Last year they had 0.
That's
right?
Incredible. Last year, I don't think, and again, like that was 6 with a 115 and above. Last year, this offense had only 2 players that were above average hitters, and that was Spencer Horwitz had a 119 weighted runs created plus.
Okay, he was 119. All right.
So, like, here's where we're at. We're not even talking about 6 guys that are average or better. We're talking about 6 guys that are good, 115 or higher. That still remains the same. Nick Gonzalez flipped with O'Neill Cruz. Nick Gonzalez now the 115 and Cruz the 119. But yeah, that's where we're at with that offense. So again, just to kind of highlight the differences. But again, today the runners in scoring position really was a situation that they failed at, and that's why, like you mentioned, 4 should do it. It could have done it today. It did not do it. And that's really what part of the reason that hindered them is they weren't coming up in clutch moments offensively. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the offense, some of the blunders, and some Don Kelly stuff when we come back. So let's go ahead and kick it over to Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
So as you mentioned, like I know Cruz let off the game in a good way. Also had that home run during the game. Connor Griffin also comes up big, gets his 3rd home run. Connor Griffin's been balling out since, again, he turned 20. Right after those first, I think 77 or 79 plate appearances. I mean, he's just been looking every bit as good. Like you mentioned, like he's now in discussion. I still feel better having him, in the back a little less pressure, but he's in discussion now of like, if you do want to adjust this lineup or if you want to have a new guy at leadoff or something. Like he's becoming more reliable in that sense. Can of course be a catalyst as well with his speed and whatnot. So again, like the offense wasn't completely abysmal today. It wasn't gone, but again, it was in big moments. So like those 2 home runs were big in that sense, but coming up clutch. I know Spencer Horwitz came up clutch today in a big way. He had 2 hits. He's been coming up clutch in this series, but like outside of that, it just seemed like this offense was, when there was guys that needed to get over, they just weren't doing it.
You know what I find interesting about Connor Griffin, or just one of the things, is how people are very excited about Nick Gonzalez with runners in scoring position, how he's hunting ribeyes and he's coming through. He's got 18 RBI. Connor Griffin's got 19.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor Griffin is really putting it together, and I just expect him to get better throughout the season. I just I can see him in August just going crazy, so it's something to look forward to. But yeah, Harwitz had a good game. He grounded into a double play at one point. I mean, it was just everybody seemed to have sort of a mixed bag. It was just some, again, you had some big hits, you had some clutch moments, but then there were other times where you just complete failures in this situation. But I'm not, like I said, I'm pretty enthused about the offense. I didn't, even with the additions, I didn't think that we would be scoring as well as we are, and that the run differential, it would be as good as it was. You tighten up this bullpen, and this team can go places.
And that's what I want to point out here and say, today it was abysmal with runners in scoring position. But like you said, the irony was they talked about it earlier, how good this team has been. And I want to run down this list here as well. Like with runners in scoring position of at least 30 plate appearances, there's nine players on this team that qualify. There's 9 guys that have 30 plate appearances or more with runners in scoring position. Only 2 are below a 115 weighted runs created plus. So again, we're talking about the threshold, like not even average, like succeeding, right? And that is Marcelo Zuna, who just can't hit regardless, at a 57, or it's Nick York at a 1. It's not good at all, right? Outside that, like Nick Gonzalez 167, Reynolds 152, Cruz 152, Lau 125, Horwitz 121, O'Hearn 117, Connor Griffin 115. Like they're all excelling. Today it didn't happen. So that's the thing. Like that's baseball. Like when a lot of the fans freak out, the first game of the series, it seemed that way. And when on the postgame show, it was freaking out again. It's like, I mean, you're not gonna perform day in, day out, night in, night out. Like you're gonna have off nights. And today I felt like it was an off night with runner scoring position. Kind of is what it is. To me, what made today more frustrating, especially from game one, was just giving opportunities away. Like, that's what I felt like today's story really was. I mean, I understand they weren't really excelling at run scoring position, but they were doing enough to win this ball game. This ball game should have been had. And like you mentioned, it's on everybody. It's on management. It's on executives, and it was on players today. Everybody had their hand in the pot today of this loss.
Hey, absolutely. Right. Again, I mean, Pirates could have scored 7 or 8 runs today with just a few more, well executed at bats. And they did it, and they scored 4. And then that puts the onus on starting in relief and defense. And, they did not hold up their end of the bargain. It's tough. Yeah. It stinks because, I mean, it was a good road trip. You went 3-3. How many road trips have we talked about over the years where the Pirates were 1-5, 2-4? But especially you also had the opportunity of maybe winning 5 of the like the only really one that they got smacked around was in that first, whatever it was, 7-0, 9-0, whatever it was. Since then, they've had a chance to win every game, and and really let this one slip away, even more so than, like you said, than the first one. They just they gave this game away. They tried to give it away 3 or 4 times, right? Like, oh, you won't take it? Here you go. We'll give you another chance.
Right. Exactly. And that's to me, like, that's what's frustrating about this. Losing a series to a team that's in last place, like, it happens. Like, I referenced it on Twitter to somebody. Do you remember the Pirates sweeping the Dodgers in LA when they're like the worst team in baseball? Like, it happens. How it happens is a little bit different. And that's why, like, today there's opportunities they could have won and they didn't. And like this, opposed to like the first game, this is one of those games maybe at the end of the year, like, man, if we just were able to execute, like Ron O'Hearn, I want to talk about him a little bit. There was the one ball that Devers hit. I think it was like way off the top of the wall. I was like, he was like jumping like he was going to catch that ball. Why weren't you trying to play it well off the wall? Now, it didn't really amount, like, it didn't make a huge difference, but that was like the first moment today of Ron O'Hearn where I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's. I mean, like you said, it's funny because we were very concerned. I mean, immediately with the signing of Ozuna, right? We were like, oh no, right? We're going to have 3 below average outfielders in the outfield almost every inning, right? And you just think, well, the bat will play and all that sort of stuff, and man, has it been, I mean, it's been glaring since the first game in the first inning that outfield defense is a problem for this team. It's going to cost us. And Ahern made a nice catch. I think it was in the 9th inning, right? He ran and caught the one up against the wall.
That was a big
Wasn't even quite sure, but right. He looked silly on the trying to jump for the one that, it landed in the bay or something, right? And then, those plays in the bottom of the 12th were just not what you expect from a major league player. Right. I mean,
again, like, I go back to that play, which didn't really amount to much, but it was just like, oh, what was that? And then Billy Cook gets a ball, and like, he throws it like 14 feet into the grass in front of him.
The good defensive outfielder, right? Just throws it, spikes it.
And then you talk about, like, especially at the end there, like, that's how this game, I'm not going to say lost, because again, like, this is on everybody. Like, so I'm not going to say this game was on Don Kelly. I'm not going to say the game was on Ryan O'Hearn. I'm not going to say it was on, Johan Ramirez or Bubba Chandler, or like, go down the list. It was on everybody. Everyone had their hand in this, but like, Ryan O'Hearn, there's this ball down the line and you just catch it. I mean, you miss it. Like, it bounces off your glove.
Just bounces off your glove.
Like, Justin
and not
Lawrence,
tipped, because you were reaching out. It just, you were standing next to it and just reached out. And,
like, Justin Lawrence has been a mixed bag of balls this year. Again, the first time he came up in this series, it was awful, and then he lost, big part of losing the game.
Right.
But he nails the first 7 appearances. He comes in here, gets the first out. A guy who, like, you need to kind of build this confidence on. And again, like, this is your middle relievers. It's not been that good. Like, you got to help those guys out. And he did him no service by misplaying that ball. And now, like, okay, because again, like, it's extra innings here, and there's already a guy in second. So now you got a guy in third. Like, you move the runners up. You're not doing me any service here. And like, that's just a easy playable ball.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, again, the fact that they didn't score on it tells you that the Giants were sure he was going to catch that ball, right? Like it was an easy out. It wouldn't have, nobody, well, maybe Greg Brown would have said, oh, what a great play. But it was just, just a simple routine play. He had to run a little bit to get to it, but that, should have made that play. Play.
And then immediately the one that you opened the show with, where it's do or die right now. We're either getting out of this inning and going over, or it's game. And there was a blooper hit to right field, and O'Hearn wasn't able to catch it, and he didn't. But the Giants pirated, and they decided, let's just stand on third base and chill here. Yeah. And Ryan O'Hearn gets it off the ground, bounces, he catches it, and he kind of stands there, and then he realizes no one's running. After all that hesitation and then processing and thinking, he realized, oh, let me throw it home. He almost still was able to get him out in that sense with a good throw. Right. If he was just aware and paying attention, just playing through the play, if he just went for it and threw it home, we might still be playing baseball, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. It could be the 15th now, right? We could have five more, anecdotes to mention of the terrible.
Just again, just another opportunity. Yohan Ramirez pitched today, and I hate to watch him, because he gets himself in these jams and then gets himself out. I don't know. Does Yohan Ramirez need three guys on base? Is that his problem?
It seems to be his kink, right? And again, I guess it just comes down to that he has such a significant role in this bullpen, right? He should not be one of the high leverage relievers. He should not. He's pitched wonderfully most of the time this year. Doesn't matter. He should be the sixth inning guy. He should be he should come in when the pitcher goes forward 2/3, give you an inning, give you 2 innings or whatever. But, with a runner on second and nobody out, Yohan Ramirez should not be the guy. But again, he did okay. Right. He was fine. Right.
Under the circumstances. And again, after he caused his own chaos, he got out of it.
2 runs.
Yeah. One earned.
Yeah. So just an ugly, gross game. Really was. And just on every level, they frustrated us. Again, they had some big hits, but more often than not, they let us down when where a hit could have come through. They did not obviously field that well, and they did not pitch that well. And that is a formula to lose, especially on the road. Doesn't matter how bad the team is,
Right.
And it's always one of my pet peeves with Pirate fandom and ourselves. And you guys will talk tomorrow on Bucko Brew, and you're going to say, we're playing Colorado. This is a chance to get some wins. And then, I just remember last year, we were up 23-0 against Colorado and lost.
Right.
It's are you sure?
23-0?
It was 16-0 or 16-2 or something like that.
Well, how about this transition? Because I know this is a little long. It's 30. I felt like there's a lot we want to talk about this game. It's already 33 minutes in here. So I do want to say and ask one thing. And again, speaking of the Colorado game last year, because that's what really, I'm not going to say started it, but when you thought you had this game won in Colorado, you end up losing it because of Dennis Santana, his first game in the closer role since the David Bednar trade. So now he's been nails. He's been great. But I want to ask you something, and because it's you, Doug.
He's my guy.
He's not been great this year, especially after that one blow up a little bit over a week ago. He was good to start, right? But since then, it's not been good. Today, he got 2 outs, couldn't go full inning. Only went 0.2 innings today. 2 hits. He was getting hit pretty hard. What is your level right now of concern for your boy, Mr. Dope, Dennis Santana?
After the first blow up, I had zero concern. Every pitcher has zero concern. But with each, ensuing outing, it's wait a minute. Is it something physical? Is it something mental? Has he lost confidence? What is it? But, have they figured him out? Is it a regression to the mean? But yes, my level of concern is pretty high because he looks different to me out there. right? The swagger is not quite the same. He looks unshort. And I know that's just, sort of dinosaur psychology, analysis. Like, what do I know about his body? Like, but it just something seems off.
Well, if anyone knows, Doug, it's you. I'll say that.
Come on.
You are Dennis Santana expert.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's my guy. Like, I said to you in our group chat the other day, you're like, oh, is he, is Soto now the closer? I'm like, no, it's just matchups. And the next night it's, nope, Soto's the closer. It's certainly the Pirates have made that decision. And that's fine. Soto's pitching great. Give me a dominant 7th and 8th inning Santana, but that's not what we're getting now, right? Like, he's not being efficient. He doesn't look confident. He's throwing more pitches and he's giving up, some hard hit balls. I'm very concerned, and I hate it. I wish I had, but it's been a little stretch now. Isn't just, like I said, one blow up. I don't care. They all have them. But man, he's been, as I said to open, who do you have confidence in? Soto only, right. And you brought up Montgomery, and you were absolutely correct there. But that's I'm there. The next time Dennis Santana comes in, I don't care if it's we have a 3-run lead. It's in the 7th inning, and he's got a clean start to the inning. I'm going to be nervous until he gets through it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I felt like this team has done a good job. It's being resilient and bouncing back. And Dennis Santana has not bounced back since that outing yet. Right. So again, like that, I'm a little worried. Want to ask you about it. But with that being said, the Pirates lose today. I mean, they're in 4th place. They're still above, 500 record. I mean, they're still playing good, solid baseball. There's now five series losses in 13 series. Like, again, you take that. Like, they're playing fine baseball.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said, "Oh, but you're still only 3 games over 500." Baseball's 162 games. You go 6-5, 6-5, 6-5, 6-5 type thing. You don't. And at the end of the season, I mean, the Pirates are still on pace for like 88 victories.
They're on pace for 87 wins.
87. Okay, my math was a little off.
But
dementia,
right.
The dementia has set in. But yeah, they're right. They're on pace for 87 victories. And hopefully they do something soon to like fix this bullpen and maybe can, increase that pace. But regardless of how it turns out, if at the end of the season we've won 87 games, you have to kind of give, hats off to everybody involved, right? Now, the Pirates find frustrating ways to get those, how many will that losses be? 75 losses. And they will be of, many of this type variety where we're like, gee, if we just would have won 5 other games that we had, had in complete control of until this happened, we could have been to 92 victories or something of that line. But yes, I mean, big picture, grand scheme of things, 87 victories will be a successful season. I want more. So. I want better. I mean, blah, blah, blah. But
playoffs is the goal. But I think 87 can get you there. And as of right now, we look at FanDuel. I mean, FanDuel still has the Pirates third best NL odds for the third best odds for NL Central, plus 750 at this point in time. Again, like it's not the sky's falling. Today was frustrating. Today could have been another series win. It was opportunities. A lot of people failing at them. Off day tomorrow. Come back Colorado on Tuesday. Get things back on track. Like you mentioned, that's a series that you can win and get yourself back there. You got to execute, though. You got to do it. So go do it.
Right. You're not just waltzing into a win. That's not what this team is right now. Showing up is not half the battle for this team. You need more. You need execution. You need laser focus, that sort of thing. I would like to mention that someone said I'm working at 105. I'm 107. And to pivot to something else, my 108th birthday is coming up. It is the Friday night before our next tailgate. So, come celebrate my 108th birthday with me. I think I'm going to be on Good Morning America the Friday before, celebrating my oldest. And then, Saturday we'll be at the tailgate.
Yeah, you really are about a month away. That's right.
Yeah, so it's close.
It's coming. All right.
I'm excited.
Well, there it is.
I had so much fun last time. So, yeah.
Come to the
tailgate. It was cold and rainy.
Links in the description. You can get your tickets there. $10 preloaded value. Sponsored by Primanti Brothers Sandwiches. We'll have a good time for sure. We'll be on tomorrow, Jim and I, for Bucko Baru. Until then, folks, we love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.